Hello, everyone, and you are welcome to Tech for You GH Consulting. And this is 90 Days Excel Skills Mastery Challenge. You are welcome to week 3. You have mastered the interface of the Excel and the basic formulas in week 1 and week 2. Today, I am going to show you my favorite feature in Excel, what I use a lot of the time, called the table. So today we are going to look at the introduction to Excel table and how Excel handles the table. And if you are still manually coloring your rows or manually dragging formulas down, then you are working too hard. You are still working too hard. Today, we would show you how to turn the student data we created in the week 2 into a smart table that does the work for all of us. So let's go into it and then let's see what the Excel table also means for us. So we welcome to week 3, and in week 3, we are going to look at how to manipulate our data in the table. So in week 2, we created this table, and I'm sure by now all of us have this table with us, and then we're going to use for week 3. So we are going to learn something called Excel tables. Excel tables are just like containers that contains the data that we have. So if we want to group all this table into a container, then we turn it into a table. So an Excel table simply is a special container that holds our data, and we can convert this range of circles into a container. And very soon we'll see some of the advantages in converting this Excel into container. So quickly, let's look at how to be able to convert this data into a container. There are two approaches. The first approach is where we use the ribbon, and the second approach is where we use the shortcut key. So in using the ribbon, first of all, we must make sure that our table, our data that we have is a complete data set. That means that each of the columns that we have in here have what we call column headers. So each of them must have a column header for it. And then again, there is also not a total empty column that's separated like this one that will separate the data together. Or there is no a total empty row like this one that will separate the data together. If we meet this criteria, the next one is that we must see that there is a free rows and columns around the data. That means that the data set we have should not be joined to any other information on the spreadsheet. If we meet all these ones, then we can quickly turn it into a table. So you select any part of the data, then you go to the ribbon, look for Insert tab, and then you go to Tables, and then you can see a table here. Once you click on it, it will have this dialog box appear for you. And within this dialog box, the first thing to do is to select the data. But because our data passes the data integrity test and we selected a part of the data, just excel with the data. All the areas have been selected, and you can see the dancing ant around the area of the data. So the next to look for is to check the box that says that my table has a header. Once you click on it, boom, your data has been turned into a table. So the range that we have is now called a table. How do you know that the data has been turned into a table? There are two things. One, you can see that the table has now introduced a coloring layer that tries to format the data set that you have, and it is only that side that has the coloring. That is the first one to see. The second one is that you can see that the funnel tab has been introduced at each of the column headers, and this will help us to do proper filtering in the data. And the last one you can also see is that as soon as the table is selected, you see that the table design tab will be open within the ribbon for you and gives you other further tools to be able to work and manipulate the data. So when you see all these things, you can then be able to conclude that, one, your data or your range has been converted into a table form for you. And once it is converted into a table form, it becomes very handy, easy to handle. So one of the things is that why do we use data? One, for automatic formatting. The data has been automatically formatted for us in this set once we converted it into a table. So it adds the blended rows with different formatting colors to be able to identify or show the records that we have in it. And the second one is that it automatically introduces the filter buttons at the top here. So we can filter our data in any form that we want it. We can filter the data easily to cover any arrangement that we have. So that is one of the advantages that associated with converting your data set into a table. The third one is that it also gives us automatic expansions. So the table, we saw that the part that were not showing, that were hidden, once we converted it to a table, it has given us automatic expansion in that all the items that or the values or content that we have in each of the cells has been readjusted to cover the column width of the table and to be presenting itself in a nice manner. So it's formatted that way for us. And then lastly, it also introduces what we call calculated buttons so that we can perform some calculations like total. You can add the totals together. You can also do the last columns blended and all that. Or in the table design in the ribbon, you can do all the other stuff that you want to do. And then it will also be able to help us to be able to properly select the columns that we have in a formula that performs very accurately for us. So this is how we convert our data set into a table and the benefits that we enjoy. If you don't want to convert it back, there are two things you have to do. You go to table design. One, there are so many formatting styles that you can choose for the data. In case you don't like the default one that comes, you can click on it and select any of the formatting types that we have here that will continuously format the data that you have converted together. If you don't want any formatting, you can also click the no formatting, and then it's also disappeared for you. So you can create a no formatting. You come here, select the whole data, go to your format area, and then choose the border, and then choose none. Then you click OK. Then you come and add them to it. So once you do that, you can then go into it and select no formatting, and then it will automatically be able to do for you. So technically, this is our data set that we have converted into a table for us, and it is very brilliant for us. So no data set is selected. We can go to table design and add any fields that we want, any selection we want to do to it, and automatically we get our table being formatted in that regard. So in case you don't want to format it, you can quickly go back to this side and then go to the table design, and under tools, you can see convert to range. So you click on it and then it will convert back to range for you. So the data is no more a table. It is back to the range as it was before converted into a table. And then when you click on it, you see that the table design is no more showing. So I want to show you the shortcut too. Once we have met all the criteria, we select any part, and then you go to your keyboard, hit down the Ctrl key plus T. So once you type Ctrl T, then the dialog box will appear. Make sure that you have done what we did initially. Check the box that says my table has a header, and then hit OK, and then we are back to table mode, and then we see our table design shows. All these are tools that you can use to manipulate the data. So here we can name the table. So this is student database. So I can name it TBL. TBL is the convention I use to name tables, because you are going to have a lot of name ranges in the sheet. So if you don't categorize your tables, calling the tables in a formula will be difficult. So I always use TBL as the beginning, then down dash, then I'll type in the name student data. Then you hit enter. Please, the name of the table will not take a space. If you want to put a space, then you have to put underscore inside to separate it. So now our table is now called table TBL student data. What it means is that we can now call this one into a formula. So let's use it to do our formulas that we did in week 2. So here, what is the total fees? We can just come into it and type sum. And then once we know that the area we are going to do, we know the table, we say TBL. Then you see the table name is appearing. Use your tab key to pick it, and then use your open square brackets, and then you can use your arrow to select the field you want to sum. So here we are summing the total fees expected. So we just go to the tuition fee, pick it, and then close the square brackets, and then hit enter. So you have your sum. So that is easy. Now, when you look at the formula, it helps you to be able to identify what exactly you are doing. So we are summing the total fees in the student database. So we can do the same thing for the total paid. We can also type sum, and then we go to the table, put the cursor at the header. You will see that it turns into an arrow pointing down. Click on it and it selects the whole range for you. Hit enter, and then you get your sum. Very, very easy to when you are using it to work in a formula. And then we subtract to find the outstanding. We can also use the same to count. So if we are counting, we can also type the word count, and then we go to the area we are counting, maybe the student, maybe anything we are counting, pick it, hit enter, and then you count it. You can also use it to do the average. Any of the formula that you are writing, you can actually bring it inside. So we take the average fees that they are supposed to pay, and then we have it there. We take the maxi as well, and then we can also take the maximum fees, and then hit enter, you get it. You can also do the same thing for the minimum fees as well. Always check when you select the function, put your cursor at the top of the column, and then it will turn arrow pointing down. Click on it, and it will select the whole column containing the values you want to add. Just hit enter, and then you have all of them. So that is how we convert into a table. And what it means is that even though the table is on one sheet, in another sheet, you can also call it, just say total fees. You can also call it and say, we want to sum the TBL. Then we use to pick it, select the area you want to sum, tuition fee, and then you can now close your square bracket, hit enter, and automatically the fees are also populated here. So the advantage is numerous when you convert your data into Excel. It makes it your data into tables, sorry. It makes it very easy to handle. It makes it very easy to refer to the table, any part of the table in a formula. It makes it easy to drag and to do all that we are supposed to do. That is why I'm encouraging you that anytime you are handling a data in a range and you are going to use it to perform a lot of calculations, make sure you have converted it into a table. And when you convert it into a table, it becomes expandable. Whatever records that you add to the table will automatically be updated the figures that you have. So let me just go and say that I forgot to add a fee called 8,000. Once I add that, is added to the table, the formulas have automatically been updated. Now my maximum is this, and then it's that. So technically, it is checking all the stuff that we have for us. So that is why, and then when it is deleted, it will also be automatically updated into the formula. It is very convenient, very easy, and I'm encouraging you to do that. Thank you very much for sticking with me as we go through how to convert our data range into a table. In week 3, we are looking at data management. So tomorrow we are going to handle other aspects of data management, and our objective is to be able to handle data efficiently in Excel. Remember to subscribe to this channel and also hit the notification bell so that as soon as a new video is uploaded, you get the notice and then you go take your challenge. Don't forget to go through. There is an assignment here for you to do. Make sure you have converted this table into a data. This data into a table, and then work on all the calculations that we have here. Let's do it. Comment on the comment section in the video, and meet you in day 2 of our 3rd week as we explore data management tools. Thank you very much and stay blessed.